You've created your main character in Guildwars 2. You're off adventuring around the world. But you've noticed those extra character slots you have on your account, and you're wondering what to do with them. In this video, I'm going to try and cover every reason to have some alternative characters, or alt characters. Throughout this, in the background, we'll be playing footage of my daily routine, which I will get to later in the video. Let's start with the most basic reasons. There are 9 classes in the game. It can be very useful to have one of each character, both from a perspective of understanding the mechanics of that class, and from in higher end content, where depending on the group's needs, you're able to switch to different types of characters. It can also be useful to have a reverent character specifically, as there is some achievements and unique skins that are locked behind access to it. Each race also has different starting storylines before they all merge later on. If you want to experience all of these storylines, or at least variants of them, including the unique tutorial instance for each of the races, it can be useful to have a character to go through that. Also on the story aspect, the story comes with several different rewards and story choices that have to be made throughout, including access to the Orders of Tyria. And as each character can only join one order, you would need at least 3 characters to be able to experience all of them, which also unlocks that order's unique skins, and I believe an additional achievement. Both character classes and races can sometimes have unique dialogue and even unique dialogue choices throughout the game. In some instances, each class also has unique actions that can be performed in certain instances. With the basics out of the way, let's look at some of the other reasons it can be useful to have alt characters. Birthday gifts. Each created character gets a birthday gift each year. These birthday gifts contain a variety of useful items. This includes cash shop unique dies, teleports to players, and other assorted cash shop items. If you have enough alternative characters, you never need to buy any of the cash shop dies, as over time you'll unlock enough of them that you have a wide variety available to you. Inventory space. Each character can quickly and easily get to 100 inventory slots, just by adding 20 slot bags to that character. This is a cheaper alternative to many other ways of getting additional space. For instance, it's cheaper to create a new character and give them 4 20 slot bags than it is to get 2 32 slot bags for an existing character. And it's cheaper than buying an additional bag slot and then getting a 32 slot bag for that slot. Daily farming. Various things around the world are in fact character bound, not account bound. This includes the dragon chests at the end of events, the jumping puzzle chests at the end of jumping puzzles, and the hearts that can be completed. This is especially useful when you're farming for your sky scale, because you can repeatedly complete the hearts at the end of on different characters to quickly build up the living world currency that you need for each step. You can also farm the open world living world resource nodes in each map per character. It should be noted, however, that there is an account cap for each map for each currency per day. World completion. If you want to make a Generation 1 legendary weapon yourself, you will need to complete world completion. Doing so grants you 2 copies of an item used to make a legendary weapon. After you've completed it on your main character and you've created 2 weapons, if you want any more, you will have to completely explore the world again on a second character. As this item cannot be traded, this is the only way to acquire it, other than just straight up buying a Generation 1 legendary off the trading post. Specialization collections. Each class currently has 2 specializations, with a 3rd one on the way in the next expansion. Each of these specializations have an appropriate collection, one that unlocks a skin at the start of progressing that specialization, and one that unlocks when you reach the end of that specialization. There is also a collection for each specialization that will give you an appropriate and uniquely skinned ascended item for that class. If you want all of these unique skins, you will need at least 9 character slots. Crafting. By default, each character can only have 2 crafting professions unlocked at any one time. After that, they will need to swap their professions for a gold fee or buy an additional crafting license from the cash shop. If you have multiple characters, you can put 2 of each profession on each character, which will in turn allow you to use all the crafting professions without having to swap and pay that fee. This also has the benefit of leveling up the character as you are learning the crafting profession. Now on to the big one, alt parking. Alt parking is sticking your alternative characters at the end of useful pieces of content where there is a chest. This can be the end of a jumping puzzle, the end of an area that's only unlocked after a quest chain or event chain, or other areas that it's just a pain to run to or can quickly get you some gold. There are dozens of lucrative spots around the world where it can be useful to stick a character. If you make a daily routine of logging into each character when they're parked at a location like this, you can quickly make some gold for a 15-minute routine. As you can see playing in the background is my own daily routine that I try to do each day when possible. On my main character, I usually try to complete the home instance from wherever map I was before I logged out the previous day. As you'll notice, most of my characters are parked in Biora marshes. At the moment, these are some of the most lucrative chests in the game. I have a character parked at each of the large chests and the medium chests. I haven't bothered with the small chests as I feel the return for having a character there isn't quite worth it as much. 2 of my other characters I have parked in Alona. I'm currently saving up trade contracts to complete another legendary, and I'm slowly building them up by opening the chests there, which in addition to yielding a fair amount of rares, also yields trade contracts each day, which can swiftly build up. Between the 2 of these, each day I get in a fair amount of map-specific resources, generic T6 resources, and ectos. These ectos are incredibly useful as they go for close to 20 silver a pop, and you will need a near endless amount of them for your own purposes. For the final part of my daily routine, I have 1 character parked in the Eye of the North. This is to quickly and easily give me access to the Dragonstorm meta. This meta, while taking a bit longer, does yield some pretty nice and high value rewards if you're lucky, and also some of the specific Tyrian Defense Seal currency, which can be useful to build up over time. To help you determine the most lucrative spots to stick your alt characters, the Fast Farming Guild has helpfully provided a website which lists all of the gold per chests from many of the areas in the world map. They have taken this data from a large player-acquired data set, so the numbers here are fairly reflective of what you'll be able to get should you handle each currency correctly. I'll have a link in the description below. This website, along with a few others, will make your Guild Wars 2 experience far smoother, and I will do a more in-depth video on websites like this at a later point. I hope this video has been useful to you as part of my series of guides to help new players have the best experience. If you have found this guide useful, please be sure to subscribe for future guides, and if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below.